Darling, forever.
An analysis of 13 studies of sitting down and activity levels found that those who sit down for more than 8 hours a day with no physical activity had a risk of dying similar to the risk of dying posed by obesity and smoking. Music producers, when I first started making beats, I don't think I even thought about how much time I would have to sit down by choosing this profession. I know that when we're in our flow state and we're in our zone, we're not even thinking about these things. I know for sure in my 20s, I didn't even care about that. But then let's enter your 30s. This is when I started to experience some of the consequences of spending so much time sitting down and not stretching and moving around. Because you need to realize how important it is for you to have some activity. And then as well as a solution that I'm finding right now that is working really well for me. That being said, let's do the rest of this video standing up. Move that. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the FlexiSpot stand-up desk. It's actually two stand-up desks. Why do I have two stand-up desks? Long story short, the good people over at FlexiSpot sent me the first desk back here, which is the longer one, which is about 55 inches, right? They got my address, they sent it through, I received it. But as I started to pull the pieces out, as you're gonna see here in this time lapse, I started to notice that some of the pieces were actually missing. I don't think that this was FlexiSpot's fault. I do feel like whoever delivered it was a little bit reckless because it is supremely heavy. You definitely want to get two people to go ahead and bring that inside the house so you can put it together. Only issue is there were some missing pieces because of the delivery. The good news is I reached out to my representative from FlexiSpot and told them the situation. They sent another one and it was ASAP, super professional. So shout out to FlexiSpot for that. As they were sending that out, I was still trying to figure out, like, there's got to be something I got to do with this desk. Now, you guys already saw that I put this together with my friend Leotis, and everything was going seamless till step 3. Step 3 is one that you absolutely want to take time with as you put this together. We put our two heads together and eventually this is what we got.
Wow.
My friend came up with the idea of, why don't you use both desks to support all the things that you do here in the studio? Because as you can see, I have a little bit more items than the average producer. I got my MIDI controller, that's obvious, my Symphony desktop interface, my Stream Deck, keyboard, mouse, and that's pretty much the standard. But then I also have on this side a slider and a television that I use for my monitor. And it's like a 45 to 50 inch television screen. So it's important that I have something to support it. What you're gonna see here is not only do they have the up and down mode, but you can actually set presets. So say if I wanted to go all the way down here, I could set this as 1, hold it down. Now it's set. Now if I go up here, and say I just wanted to automatically sit down, just press 1. Boom. This stand-up desk has forced me to move around more than I've probably moved around since I started making music. It's also given me a boost of energy because as I'm standing here, there's no wasting time. Like every time that you're standing here, your knees are starting to feel it if you stand in one place. So it forces me to be more active in my music making process. I always say music is a contact sport. As I'm banging away at these pads or these keys, it's holding all that in the process. So it can withstand a lot of the damage sometimes we do to our well, at least I do because I'm heavy-handed, we do to our equipment. Disclaimer, I did some research on stand-up desk in general. Standing up alone is not going to be the solution to you having a longer life. You gotta still move around. That still has to be a part of your regimen. Move around, definitely stretch when you can, drink water throughout the day, hydrate your body and continue to move forward. But I gotta say, this is absolutely a must to at least look into, especially if you're a producer that takes your health into consideration, your physical and your mental health. There's no excuse not to look into some kind of stand-up desk. Now, the two stand-up desks that I have are two different sizes. One is 55 by 28 and the other one is 48 by 24. The 55 by 28, the one back there, is $414. It's a long desk, but definitely a sturdy desk. It's gonna last me a lot of years. The second one, which is the 48 by 24, is $299. These are not only great aesthetically for your studio, but these are for sure great for your long-term physical and mental health. Definitely look into it and see if it is something that makes sense for what you are doing. And then at the very least, if you don't do anything else, just keep into account how much time you're spending sitting down and try to rectify that situation. For me, this is the solution, and it's helping me get a lot of ideas out so much more fluidly. And I just gotta say thank you once again to FlexiSpot for the opportunity to do this review. So in conclusion, producers, you can find links to these desks down below in the description. It'll send you directly to this link. And if you have any other questions, hit me in the comments and I'll get to you and let you know what this experience is like. But I'm not going back to sitting down. Even though I'm sitting down now, I'm not going back to sitting down. This is just helping me out tremendous, and I want to make sure that I keep this going. Like I always say, in this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Once again, it's Curtis King of Curtis King TV. Have a good one. Peace. Look up, Nazi. Say cheese.